About here, the seascape is wonderfully dramatic, and it draws people from far and near. Across the sea there, the Sheep's Head Peninsula, one of the hidden gems of the Irish landscape, you could say, and indeed especially appealing to walkers, as our Maria Malarkey has been finding out.
It's a fresh autumn morning at the Sheep's Head in West Cork. John Ahern of SouthWestWalks Ireland, a company that provides walking holidays for people all over the country, has been guiding walks for 15 years and is about to guide another group along the Sheep's Head. Before starting off though, a quick coffee and scone is needed for that extra little bit of energy.
A little bit of, just a couple of minutes as to what we're going to do or where we're going to go today. Today's walk will be a good walk around the peninsula. We're looking at between 4.5 and 5 hours. And we'll have a good walk around the Sheep's Head Peninsula. Here we are, we have the OS map, 1 to 50,000. Each one of the little squares here is a kilometre, so it's very easy to judge your distances when you're walking. So if you stand around me there, we can actually have a look and I can show you what the plan is.
After our briefing session, it was time to do what we came here to do, walk.
One of the things that I like even about walking is that an area you've walked before, when the light changes, the scenery changes.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the view out there.
Gorgeous.
It's gorgeous. We're looking out at the Mizzen now below us here. It's heavenly. The Sheep's Head Way was started around 1996 when it was officially opened by President Mary Robinson. And since then, the level and the amount of walkers that come to this region has increased dramatically. Not as much as we would like to, because there's an awful lot more room for the walking product to develop here. But it is, I suppose, it is the best way to describe it. It is where the earth meets the sea and the sky meets the ground, and it's one of nature's own places. It's a beautiful place to walk. It's the place to come to. This part of West Cork, the Sheep's Head Peninsula, the Beara Peninsula, and even back to the Mizzen, some walks even around Mount Gabriel are very, very popular, are increasing in popularity. The walk here on the Sheep's Head Way is about 90 kilometres in distance, starting inside in Wolfetone Square in Bantry and finishing back into Bantry again by Bantry House. You must remember in Ireland that every time you put your foot down, you're putting it down in 5,000-6,000 years of history. And a lot of countries don't have that, particularly the North American continent, and they love it. Even the stone walls have stories to tell, and we tell them the stories about those stone walls.
Oh, isn't it beautiful?
Isn't that gorgeous? Lake Allen. Just be careful on the rocks here, lads. That's beautiful. And you see the potato ridges, the lazy beds from the famine times.
That's right, yeah.
The lazy beds here where they would have built the potatoes back in 1845, 1846, 47.
Upon reaching the lighthouse, our halfway mark, it was time for a welcome break and lunch before continuing on our journey.
I was born around here and I grew up and then I left here. I now live in France, but I absolutely love walking. I come here every year to walk and it's the best place in the whole world. I love Kilcrohane and the walking is superb.
I'm a member of a hill walking group in Dublin, but I love to come down to West Cork to walk the Sheep's Head and the Beara Peninsula. And the scenery is fantastic and I love to get out in the fresh air.
We have a most beautiful vista across the famous Bantry Bay of Bear Island and Hungary Hill, the Caha Mountains, stretching out along to the lighthouse at the end of Bear Island, Dunboy Castle, Knocknagower, and way out along, we go out along way west out to Dursey and the Dursey Sound in the cable car. Such a vista, such a beautiful, beautiful sight. It's, again, it's one of these areas. God made it on the 8th day after he was finished making the world for 7 days. Walking to me is, I suppose, in its own right, a means to actually getting to do what I like to do, and that is seeing the countryside. I'm not the kind of person that runs up and down Carrantoul or Mount Brandon every morning before my breakfast. I like to go out for a day's walking in the hillside and the countryside. The walks that we do, we never go above 350, 400, 450 metres. And what it has given to me is a total new understanding and appreciation of the country that we have here. We have so much history, we have so much culture, we have so much nature, and you can tie all that together and it just makes life understandable to me, and it just rejuvenates me. So if you look up to the left, you can see we have just done.
made it.
We've made it. Well done, everybody. Thank you. You have the best group I guided today.
We're the only group.
Best group I guided today. And straight up to the cafe for our little cuppa. Thank you all.
It was hard to believe our 5 hours of walking was over. Learning about the history of the place, experiencing the beautiful countryside of West Cork, and of course the good company made it all very enjoyable and something we all agreed we'd do again.
The best parts today.
From the beauty of the Sheep's Head Peninsula, we've moved